It didn't begin with October the 7th. It began a good 130 years before then. And it began with an impossible ambition, which is to create a Jewish homeland in a country where there was already a thriving population, and that we could do this somehow bloodlessly and cleanly and morally. If you want to move towards peace, you have to deal with what creates the conditions for peace and what undermines it. And what I'm saying, it goes back a long time when the decision was made and pursued relentlessly to create a Jewish majority and, in fact, totally Jewish country in the sense of control in a land where there was already a population. This is not retrospective. Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, said in the 1930s that, politically speaking, we are the aggressors and the Arabs are just defending their homeland. That's what Ben-Gurion said. Now, publicly, they spoke a different language. But Ben-Gurion said this very clearly to his fellow Zionists. His political rival, Jabotinsky, who founded the party that later became today's Likud party,
which is Netanyahu's party,
he said that the Jewish colonial project, he called it that, the Jewish colonial project cannot be achieved without force, because no country, no people give up the land without fighting for it. So what I want people to know in a nutshell is there's antecedents, there's a history behind this, and the history is that of one people coming into a land and having the resources, having the imperial support to achieve their goals at the expense of displacing and oppressing and occupying and suppressing and very frequently mass killing than other people. You may think it's justified. You may think the Jews had such a need to have a state that anything goes. Well, that's fine if you believe that. I can't argue with you. Except you want the result. The result is what's going on right now.
You know, there's this great expression in Hungarian that you taught me or taught us, which is when something is so false that not even the opposite is true.
Yeah.
I use that all the time.
Yeah.
The notion that Zionism, well, I think it's pretty easy to dispel with the notion that Zionism is Judaism, right?
Yeah.
Just look at us.
Yeah.
Unless you want to look me in the face and tell me I'm not Jewish because I believe what I believe. And there are people who want to go there, but I think that's a pretty desperate and transparent play, kind of 5 minutes for conflation. It's a hockey reference.
Well, you could, of course, be a self-hating Jew.
Well, then they go to the psychological Freudian explanation.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine, doctor. If you want to put me on the couch and diagnose me with something, we can play that game. We're seeing it right now in the Jewish community. We're feeling it all around us. Let's actually try to turn our eyes to it with some love.